Hi, BiFFs.
Hey, Beth.
Dear Abby.
Dear Kiki.
Captain.
Red flag.
Cheers to you.
Desperate housewife.
Pinot Grigio.
Doesn't want to marry
Loser
you.
power.
Love you like I
Pour
love
more
you.
wine.
Don't talk to yourself.
Cheers, Biff.
Cheers.
Ill-advised.
Ill-advised. This is ill-advised.
Hi, BiFFs.
Hello.
Hello and welcome.
Welcome to Ill-Advised.
The podcast where two best friends tell you what to do when someone else already has.
Even when we don't know what to do. Ever.
We're a mystery.
I think there's a better word for us than mystery.
Mystery, not enigma. That's too elaborate or too articulate for us.
Yeah.
We's all types of fucked up.
There's a layman's for enigma. It is us.
It's us?
I'm saying whatever that word is.
Oh, okay.
We're them.
All right,
We're
you confused
that.
me for a second.
I know.
Okay.
I confused myself.
Welcome, BiFFs.
Welcome.
How you doing, Beth?
I'm going to skip that question.
You can't.
I'm skipping it.
Okay.
I am going to actually skip that and tell you what my daughter told me this
I was just
morning.
going to say I'm supposed to remind you to tell me a story.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this morning, my daughter comes crawling into my bed as she does every morning about anywhere between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. So she climbs in bed with me this morning, and she won't go back to sleep, but she'll lay down and close her eyes and relax for a little while with me. So this morning, she did that. She came, she cuddled up all with me. And so we're both on our sides, spooning, and I have both my arms around her, and I can feel her pushing her stomach all the way out, making it a big ball.
Mm-hmm.
And her hands on her stomach while she's doing that. And then she sucks it in all the way so her rib cage is sticking out.
Mm-hmm.
And then she pushes it back out again. So before I even can say what the fuck are you doing? She goes, Mom, I got a baby in my belly. And I was like, oh, you do? She's like, yeah, baby Banks, her baby cousin. Yeah, baby Banks is in my belly. And I'm confused how her brain is where her brain's going. And she goes, I drank all my Elsa juice last night and now baby Banks is in my belly.
What? She drank
all her Elsa juice. I get her those little kids cups with the figurine heads
the
to
Frozen
drink out of. And they got Mickey Mouse ones, they got Frozen ones, they just got all the characters' juices. So last night's juice was apparently an Elsa juice. So because she drank all her Elsa juice last night, this morning she woke up with her baby cousin in her belly.
But I need to know when
how
she drank him.
I don't know what. I don't even know the word to use. First of all, it was 6 o'clock in the morning.
You were caught off guard at 6 a.m.
So,
That's
yeah.
for damn sure.
And also, I wasn't sure how far I wanted to take this conversation.
Yeah, right. Right. That's
Why drinking all your juice last night.
Elsa can't make
made
you
you
pregnant,
wake up.
honey.
Yeah, there was just a lot. There was just a super lot, and
Are you trying to tell mommy something?
I just decided to just tell her, oh, okay.
Your daughter came out of the juice
Baby
box
Banks.
this morning. I don't even know what that is.
So, anyways, her dad said she's not allowed to drink juice anymore, so I feel bad for my kid now.
Oh, your father knows best, Beth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a daddy's girl. I should know.
You should know.
Anyways, how you doing?
Oh, I don't know. That story caught me off guard.
Thank you, because imagine hearing it at 6 o'clock in the morning.
No shit. No, I'm still floating on a cloud because a few days ago, as you know, I met people from the WB show Charmed. And you know
cue
it's
the emoji of what's his head doing this.
I don't know. Oh, the gif of Jonah
Yes,
Hill.
Jonah Hill, thank you. Yes.
Yeah, and I'm still floating on that, so everything's good. And
super fun.
Yeah, and that's where I am. That's where I is. That's how I is.
Good.
But other than that, I'm excited for this wine.
Friggin' A, I've been waiting. It's warm now.
It's warm now, yeah. We've got a
Cutest bottle ever.
It is a cute bottle. It's like those old-fashioned soda pop.
Yeah.
Like
it even had the like crank top.
Crank.
The pop.
Is that like
top? The like can opener top.
Like a high gay man.
I don't know. Is it?
And the crank bottom. A to Z. Wineworks Bubbles Oregon Rosé Wine. $16.99 a bottle with absolutely nothing for me to read.
But it's cute though.
But it's cute. So bubble on.
And it's bubbly rosé.
Let's do this. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, that ain't bad.
Not bad at all.
I wish it was colder.
I know. It would have been so good cold.
Yeah. That's because it takes us 45,000 years to
it.
get ready for a podcast, even though we don't have to set up for 45 years anymore.
Well, in other news, my corned beef smells amazing.
It smells so good in here. So good.
Worth it.
Let's not waste any more time.
Yeah.
Because we don't have any time to waste.
True that.
You got questions this
Cheers
week.
to that. I always have questions.
I still don't have answers.
This week, we go back to an old friend, Oloni.
Oloni. Oh, that beautiful woman.
That fucking beautiful bitch. This is simplyoloni.com. OLONI. Should I just get right into it?
So if memory serves me, none of these questions have titles.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those things where they're like little groups. Like one was like relationships and religion and like that type of thing.
Okay.
But this one, however, does not have one of those groups.
Sure.
So,
let's just go with it.
this is from September 2020. And it says, Olani, I've made a serious mistake and need your guidance. I was with my ex for 3 years. We had a tumultuous relationship, trust issues, physically fighting each other. He often found reasons to fall out with me over things I had done, causing me to spend weeks at a time making it back up to him. This happened regularly. Anyway, we broke up end of 2019, didn't see each other for a long time as he was out of the country. When he came back, he wasn't interested in reconciling with me or healing our relationship. Cue the entanglement. He had told me he had slept with 3 women. I had slept with 1 man, but we both got tested and continued to see each other every week or so. Olani, I could have sworn he wasn't interested in me anymore, and we kept having arguments and unresolved conversations about it, so I slept with another guy. 3 days later, I'm super ill. I thought I had tonsillitis. My ex came over and cared for me, made me tea, etc. Even though I was feverish, he tried to have sex with me. I told him no, that it was risky. Really, I didn't want to be that woman who's fucking people back to back, so I just gave him head instead. I should have told him I slept with someone else right there, but I didn't. Next day, I find out the other guy gave me chlamydia. I'm so pissed off with myself for potentially exposing my ex to this infection. He takes his health so seriously, and he was extremely upset when I told him. He hasn't spoke to me since, and I really don't know how to handle this moving forward. Feels like there wasn't much respect initially, but now there's none at all. What do I do? Can I forgive myself? Damn.
No shit. This is loaded with so much.
So much.
Jesus. So he didn't want anything serious, right? They agreed.
I didn't even keep up.
Okay. So I agree that they didn't want anything serious. Because they had agreed that like after he came back from being abroad that
he wasn't interested in reconciling with me or healing our relationship.
So they were just like fuck buddies.
So yes, you're right. I could have sworn he wasn't interested in me anymore, and we kept having arguments and unresolved conversations about it, so I slept with another guy. So yeah.
Allow me to provide something that will probably may not somehow resonate with you.
Okay.
Just because he's acting like you're in a relationship by taking care of you or thinks you're in a relationship doesn't mean you're in a relationship unless you're consenting. Can I just fucking throw that out there?
No. I've been in unconsenting relationships. You know, the ones where like he says you're in a relationship, but you were like not aware that you are.
No, I don't know.
No, never been there. Just me. Just me and this girl.
So I'm dying right now.
Anyways.
So she can't. Wow, that's gonna take me a second to recover from. She can't like be responsible for his thoughts or his emotions or whatever it is when he's not expressing those. So it doesn't seem like they've had any talks about that. So like I get feeling bad about maybe perhaps exposing him and giving him chlamydia, but should you feel bad? No, you didn't know you had it. You thought you were sick.
She said, "What do I do? Can I forgive myself?"
Yes, you can forgive yourself.
Bad, yeah.
Forgive yourself because none of this was your fault. It was out of your control. You didn't know you had it, and he insisted on having sex with you when you're sick when you said no. So don't feel bad. It's on him.
Wait, so she still gave him chlamydia through the BJ?
No, she just said that she exposed him, and that's what she was feeling bad for.
Right.
Interesting little situation to be in.
I don't even think I have advice. What do I do? Like, I don't know. You're like in a relationship, non-committed relationship with your ex while you both are sleeping with other people.
Right.
I just don't think I have advice.
Well, I think the responsible thing to do would be to tell him that you tested positive for chlamydia and he needs to go get tested. You know, and expect if he thinks that you guys are together, which is what this is alluding to.
She did. She said he takes his health so seriously, and he was extremely upset when I told him.
Oh.
He hasn't spoken to me since, and I really don't know how to handle this moving forward.
You're right. I don't know how I forgot that. So you don't. You handled it the right way. You told him you were responsible about it, and you forgive yourself, and that's it. If neither of you wanted something more serious or committal, then this should be a non-issue.
Yeah, that's true. He doesn't really have space to...
Right.
Because she didn't sleep with him.
And we don't even know if he tested positive. We just know that he's been exposed.
Yeah, I guess we're not really...
Because it's harder on the receiving end like that to catch it. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it is harder.
Right.
So I think she handled it the right way. Can you forgive yourself? You should have forgiven yourself the second you told him.
There's nothing to forgive yourself for.
Right.
You guys aren't... You didn't actively cheat on him and come home with chlamydia.
Yeah, you didn't go out of your way and say, here's
you guys
chlamydia.
Were in a, I'm going to go bang as many guys I can.
You didn't pull this silver dome off a plate and say, voila, chlamydia.
You have been served.
What's the response on that? I don't think we can give much more.
Such a complicated one, honestly, but you need to give him space, especially since you two are always fighting. Talking right now won't solve anything. He should have respected that you didn't want to give him oral sex. You were ill. I do think after giving each other space, you try to apologize. Your relationship doesn't seem stable. It feels like something just keeps going wrong. Isn't that a sign, sis? I hope you've been treated? ? And always remember to use condoms during sex. There's misconceptions that you can't get STIs through oral, which is untrue. Chances are lower, so I hope he gets tested and treated also. Oloni.
Oh, that was a good one. It was just fun. We get all these serious ones.
I just feel like the response was like, not like, okay, great, so what do I do? You know what I mean? Like it was, give him space and then say sorry, but like, it doesn't get into it. Like,
yeah. Actually, I agree with you. Yeah, you didn't answer her question.
Like,
forgive yourself because you shouldn't be having to forgive yourself.
Right. I feel like there needs to be more like, look, you guys aren't in a fucking relationship. Whether you're sleeping together and pretending you're in a relationship, at the end of the day, you're not.
Right.
He's slept with other people. You're sleeping with other people or slept with other people. Like, these things happen.
And that's it.
That's fine. It's okay.
This is what it is. It is what it is. Honestly.
Right.
That happens every fucking day.
Like, you ain't my man. My bad I got chlamydia. At least I didn't bang you after I banged him.
Right.
Like,
just be happy it ain't the clap.
You should be thanking me, not giving me grief.
I told you, you're welcome.
For you. Okay, that's what friends do.
I could have just kept infecting you. Oh. There we go. What's the next one, Beth?
This one is from June 2019. Hey Olani, me and my boyfriend have been together for 5.5 years and live together. Lately, I feel like all we do is argue and that he doesn't show any interest in my life. I have asked him about it and told him how I feel, and he just says that I'm wrong, and it leads to big arguments about whether we should even be together. He never wants to visit my friends or family, but always wants me to come and see his, which I don't think is fair. He also has anxiety and depression and has recently come off his medication without consulting a doctor, which I think is a bad idea and is making him irritable and not nice to be around. Obviously, I know it's withdrawal. I'm not sure what to do with our relationship, as we do both love each other, but we both want different things later on in life. He really wants kids and I do not. I feel a bit drained and like nothing is going to change as it's been going on for so long. What would you do in this situation? Should I stay and keep trying to work things out or give up? BF?
This is going to sound very abrupt, but you go.
Yeah.
Go, because you already know you guys want different things. You're not going to change him just because you're with him. You're not going to change his mind. I'm tossing this depression thing aside. What I'm really thinking about is you've already mentioned that you guys want different things. So that to me signals that you've already been thinking about what that future is going to look like. Like if I can't change him, like I'm not going to get pregnant. I don't want to get pregnant. I don't want kids. He wants kids. It's not going to work that way. So I feel like you know, and this is actually, I don't feel like you did this consciously. This is just something that's common is people stay in a relationship where the odds are against them because they feel that they can change the other person or change their mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lord knows I've been there.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we all have in some form or another.
So I think just based off that alone, you're incompatible, but he also needs to, bringing that depression thing back to the forefront. He also needs to work on himself in order to work on your relationship. So
nothing changes if nothing changes.
Exactly. So, if he just went off his medication and now he's going through withdrawals and not recognizing those symptoms, but you are, and on top of it, we want different things later in life. It sounds like you're just trying to justify it away.
One-sided.
Like the answer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like besides that, we don't want anything else the same in life later on.
True.
So like, okay, well, to me that sounds like you're trying to justify leaving him for depression. It just sounds like you want to leave him. If you're not happy in your relationship, you're not happy in your relationship. Have the discussion and go.
Yeah, I agree. Because I think the two parts that most jumped out at me were when I have asked him about it and told him how I feel, he just says I'm wrong, and it leads to big arguments about whether we should even be together. That right there tells me that there's no space for you to... There's no validation for your feelings. There's no space for you to have feelings or emotions. Like, that's not sacred to him.
Can I ask you, because you're more up and up on this than I am, so is
hip.
that...
Did you just call me hip?
No, up and up.
Yeah, like hip.
Your hip and mine's broken, so...
Fair enough.
So...
Okay, continue.
Thank you. Just, is that... I guess, significant by way of his depression, or is that more significant by way of maybe some other psychological disorder, like more like a narcissistic trait?
That's absolutely like a ego. I don't know if it's just ego. Because if I validate your feelings, if I acknowledge and validate your feelings, that means I'm admitting that I'm doing something to create those feelings that you're having.
Is it an admission, or is it just like... Or is it just validation? Like, I know you feel this way, and that's, because if you say that's not my intention, but you're saying,
right.
Got
you're
it.
admitting that I
answered my own question. Way. This is why our relationship works.
Right. So right there, that for me is like, anytime you bring up your feelings, it turns into like a fight. Like, that's a huge issue.
Right.
It may not be the biggest issue you have right now, but it will be. And that's going to end.
It's long term.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's just chipping away. You no longer are going to have space or feel safe to come to him with your issues at some point, because you know that it's just going to start a fight. Therefore, you're not being validated in your relationship. Your feelings are not being catered to, I guess, accepted. They're just
Or considered.
being dismissed and invalidated, and that's like a huge thing for me. And the second one was
That's a little gaslighty, isn't it?
yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, gaslighty.
Gaslighting. Is that the name of this episode?
Yes,
Yes.
gaslighty. And the other one was where she was talking about I feel a bit drained and like nothing's going to change as it's been going on for so long. Like, you're right. It's not going to change.
It's not going to change.
It's so obvious when somebody wants to actively improve or actively change things. Like, it's so obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, you will never feel like, oh my God, like this is just, is this ever going to change? Like, that weight's going to be gone. Because
Yeah.
you're like, it's like if your partner, you know, fucks up, makes that small, like forgivable mistake,
Mm-hmm.
you can just kind of forgive it
Right.
and move on. And it's the same if somebody's actively like, look, listen, I've been on my own for a long time. I am struggling with like making room for other people in my life. Like, I tend to kind of look inwards, but I don't want to do that. So now when you bring up your emotions and your feelings, it's an immediate, oh my God, you're right. I'm wicked sorry.
Yeah.
Like, next time I'm going to really try hard to do better.
Right. Someone who's an active participant in that
and so
way.
it's not going to feel heavy. You're not going to feel hopeless. You're not going to feel like, is this ever going to fucking change? Is this ever going to get better? Is this ever going to be worth it? You're not going to feel like that. So that was the two things for me that, like, I agree with you. Run.
Yeah.
Like,
And
just go.
And to your point, like, he's not going to be able to focus on your needs and the needs of the relationship until he addresses his own. And it just seems like he's neglecting those.
Right.
You know what I
So
mean?
let alone yours.
So I think you wrote in knowing your answer just by the way you wrote it,
I agree.
you know, and I think
She needed the friend to be like, yeah, it's okay
Yeah.
to leave.
it's okay to go.
Even if he's depressed and having withdrawals from his medication and
Yeah.
whatever, like, you're okay to go.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Because I think we addressed this a million times in so many different ways, but like, you don't need to justify to somebody else why you need to leave a relationship.
Right.
You know what I mean? You
Not
need it-
even to your partner.
not even to your partner. I mean, common courtesy says, you know, everyone deserves a response or deserves some sort of closure, whatever that means, right? And I've already made my stance on that. Like, I don't know.
No,
if it
I agree,
exists.
but you don't have to justify.
Right. You don't have to justify
You
it.
can just say, like, this isn't working.
It's, yeah. And
And
I
you can
just,
go.
I don't feel we're
I'm not saying
connected.
to, like,
and-
ghost him. But
yeah, no, I know
but
you're
you
not
don't
saying
need to
that.
justify.
No. So it sounds like you're not happy. And that's just the end of it to
And
me.
that's good enough to go.
Yep.
Especially if
Absolutely.
it's something that's ongoing and consistent.
Yeah.
I would be less agreeable to tell you to go if it was like, he's trying and there has been improvements, but
It sounds like he's not trying.
Right.
And there are no improvements.
so yeah, I agree.
Yeah. What's the response on that?
It's short and maybe sweet.
I love short and sweet.
She says, hey, it sounds like you've been trying for a long time, but now things really need to come to an end. You're not happy, and he clearly isn't. There's just a cycle, and it sounds as though one of you is scared to break it and walk away from what's left of this relationship. But why? Being with someone for a long time or because they have a mental health issue isn't grounds for staying in a relationship together. You can still care
Amen.
for him and help without being romantically involved with each other. Find out why he's stopped taking his medication. Communicate your concerns. Good luck, Oloni.
Yeah, I feel like that last part of that response, find out why, communicate your response, it seems pretty moot.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I do.
he doesn't want to acknowledge the issues in your relationship. He's not going to acknowledge the issues within himself.
Yeah, I agree. Other than that, I did like this response better than the first one.
Yeah, this one kind of addressed the question rather than
And it also was like, it's like, you don't need these big, huge reasons why you're leaving or want to leave.
precisely.
Yeah.
What do you got next?
I got one from May 16th, 2019. This one doesn't really have a title either, but it says, Hi, Olani. Recently, my boyfriend has had some suspicions that I have been unfaithful. Ooh. Oh, I haven't.
Oh. I was like, he busted me.
So he took it upon himself to hack into my Twitter. I have never told him my password for Twitter. And go through my chats with my friends and other guys who have tried to talk to me. I don't entertain them. In the chats with my friends, he has seen parts where my friends would send me guys and call him sexy and whatnot. And of course, I'd join in saying he's sexy or things like, just a crumb. Laughing emoji. Just a crumb?
Yeah, he's just a crumb sexy. He ate the whole loaf.
Are you just saying that?
No, I'm being dead serious. He's not the whole cake. He's just a crumb.
He's just a crumb.
I think we actually have an episode where we were referring to cakes and crumbs, and you made a fucking really good pun. I don't remember exactly what it was.
Well, that's more than I remember.
Okay, great.
I don't remember cakes and crumbs.
Okay, great. Go on.
On top of that, he's also seen parts where I've ranted about him to my friends. And then in parentheses, it says I rant to my friends when me and him have arguments or disagreements.
That's because men are trash.
Oh, straight from the horse's mouth.
That's right. Straight from the horse's mouth.
And he has seen me and my friends say he's insecure or controlling, etc. After he's seen all of this, he's confronted me about it, and I was in utter shock that he's hacked into my Twitter. Parentheses, this is not the first time he's gone through my things without my permission. Upon this confrontation, he has told me not to call him my boyfriend. He doesn't trust me and has no respect for me. I don't know if I should keep trying with him because this must be the fourth time something like this happened between us, and he has told me I need to earn this title back. And it's honestly draining because the things he's angry about were before me and him were boyfriend and girlfriend and are really petty things. For example, I once said a rapper is good looking on my story.
Oh my God.
And then my boyfriend was ready to break up with me. I don't know if I've explained my situation very well, but I would very much like some professional advice. First of all, I feel like these are maybe 18, 19-year-olds.
This
Just
really
based
feels
on
like it.
the boy.
Yeah. But you also never know because
absolutely.
Emotional maturity, it's not a privilege.
Doesn't exist.
It is not a privilege.
You're not born with it, apparently.
No. It does feel like very like juvenile, like very high school type of like unnecessary
Homeboy
drama
has
shit.
some serious insecurities.
Huge. That was the first thing
Holy
I thought
schmoly.
about. Huge. And I'm wondering if it has something to do with maybe a prior relationship. Let's say they're not 19, 20 years old. Say if it's a prior relationship where he, I'm not justifying it for him, obviously. I just think that, he hasn't healed from that trauma from a past relationship where maybe he was cheated on.
Okay.
I know I can relate in that way. It doesn't excuse what he's doing,
Right.
but I'm just trying to kind of
But it
like
does have an
speculate,
impact, yeah.
So I think that's where the insecurity stems, or maybe where it could possibly stem from. But what was her exact question?
She just said I would very much like some professional advice. It seems like just some big, huge trust issues. He's violating her privacy multiple times, hacking into her Twitter when she hasn't given him her password.
Yeah. He's like breaking laws to know what you talk about with your friends because he's that insecure.
I know. And it's almost like even more severe than like an insecurity.
Yeah.
Because like
it's
all of us can
stalkerish,
relate.
right?
Yeah, it's like control freak, but because I'm so insecure that I need to like control you making me feel secure.
It's a little lifetimey.
Yes, I can go with that.
Yeah. It's stalkerish. It's a little scary. It feels like a threshold to, I don't want to say something out of line, but it feels like a threshold toward the physical.
It always gets worse when she's trying to or preparing to leave or does leave.
Oh.
That's when like lifetime happens.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope that's not the case for her.
Well, yeah, I agree. But didn't she mention, am I just out on a limb here? Or did she mention she doesn't want to necessarily break up?
I didn't get that. Like she just doesn't want to leave him. It sounds like she wants to stay with him, but she doesn't know how to deal with his, apparently, what she has not acknowledged as insecurities.
Yeah, I was just, while you were talking, looking back, and it says, honestly, it's draining because the things he seems to be angry about were before him and I were boyfriend and girlfriend. And for me, are really petty things. For example, I said a rapper looked good and whatever. I don't know if I've explained my situation very well, but I would very much like some professional advice. So yeah, it's not, she just, I think, has no clue. Like, should I consider leaving him? Is this something?
What should I do? How do I address this with him? It sounds, she did say that she's talked to him about it before, right? And to no avail.
No, she hasn't really specified anyway.
No. So you can't be upset when you go looking for something because you're going to find it. Yes. So you can't be upset about that. He went through great lengths.
Like past shit when they weren't even together yet.
But he went to great lengths to find things. And that, like I mentioned earlier, like he broke the law, but he invaded your privacy to the max. So I'm not getting that there was a conversation here. However, I'm going to assume there was a conversation about your privacy because that's what he did. He invaded it. He went through your Twitter, and your conversations with your girlfriends are between you and your girlfriends. Mm-hmm. My conversations with you, Biff, are between you and me. Like, you know what I mean?
And our listeners.
I'm
just kidding, but yeah.
And occasionally if Colin listens.
Yeah.
But I feel like you need a safe space.
Of course.
You always need a safe space.
Absolutely.
You know, and he's going to great lengths to make sure you don't have that. And it's manipulative. It's disgusting if he's holding you finding a rapper attractive.
Oh my God.
Like, I know I have a hall pass for Chris Evans.
Right?
Because I'm not passing up on that shit.
Hell no.
But like, realistically,
right.
Is that going to happen?
Right.
No.
Right. It's perfectly normal and natural and healthy for people to find other people attractive.
Yeah, it's absolutely okay. And I understand somebody else kind of being upset about it because they're measuring themselves up against it, but not to the point where they're
not when it was
literally
prior.
Altering your relationship.
Yeah. Not when.
Oh, even worse.
Right.
Even worse if it was prior to your relationship.
She had mentioned something in one of her posts about a rapper being attractive before they were boyfriend and girlfriend.
Right. I think you've made a call on this relationship subconsciously. If you've talked to him about it and he hasn't made any changes, I have to assume they've talked about it because it's not just one incident.
It doesn't sound like they've talked about it. It sounds like it's just a constant barrage from him.
And she's constantly having to defend herself.
Yeah. And her just being like, what the, like, first of all, what? How did you get into my Twitter? Second of all, that was before our relationship, or that was, you're reading it out of context, or, you know what I mean?
Right.
I didn't get the sense that, like, this was like a look, you can't do this, or this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, it's screaming that he has a deep-seated, probably from some sort of trauma or whatever. He's got this deep-seated, he's not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
So he's projects that into his relationships to prove himself right. Subconsciously.
I see that.
Subconsciously, he tells himself he's not good enough, or he's ugly, or he, you know, his girlfriend is way out of his league. And so he has these core beliefs of himself that he may or may not be aware of. And so that comes out, right? Because our feelings come out.
And that will track throughout this whole question, this story.
Right. And
up
so
to the point where he projects that she's sleeping around or cheating on him.
Right, because for him, his story is that he is not good enough, or he is, whatever his internal dialogue is going to come out in one form or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And so by him going to find her post about another man being attractive, or her private discussions with her girlfriends about him, he's confirming to himself that he's right.
Yeah, he should have been the one to write in. Like, how do I deal with my anxieties and my issues thinking that my partner's cheating on me all the time?
Clearly not there yet.
Obviously not. But like the advice that I have is not for her. It's for him.
No, he definitely is the one who needs all the help.
Right.
But it's easier when, for her, it's easier to be stuck in that because you're not, it's the outside looking in. We can be like, oh, here.
Right. No, I totally get that.
Her,
but now hearing that perspective of it, that it's not something that they're like actively working through or actively like talking about.
Yeah.
Now I can kind of see the side of it where she's kind of taking blame for things and just sucking it up because for the sake of the relationship or because she loves him or for whatever reason.
Wants to avoid conflict because it's constant.
Yeah. But that's not a sustainable relationship.
It is draining.
It's super draining.
And for me, my advice is if he is not showing any inkling of change, remorse, or I want to do better, or I want to fix this, or I recognize the issue,
right?
Run.
Yeah. No, I agree.
There's a big difference when you're acknowledging, hey, I know that this is like a me thing, and I really want to do better at this.
That's the first step. It's not just like a cliche.
No, right.
Like acknowledging it literally is the first step.
Right. So if he's not even to that awareness, you have a long road ahead of you.
It's just creating a path of resentment. And your absolute misery.
Yep. Until you reach the point where you're all done.
Yep. And maybe that's what you need to do.
Yeah. Hey, we all can relate, I think.
Oh, yeah.
One way or another.
Yep. And then if we're done relating, we'll probably relate again later. You know what I mean?
After that,
every situation's different. Yeah, that's my take on it too, Biff.
Yeah. Let's see what Oloni says.
Yeah.
Aw, babe, he's doing way too much and you need to stop going back. You can't be talking to your friends in fear of him hacking your stuff for the millionth time. It's not healthy. I'm sure if his friends sent him a photo of a female celebrity, he'd share his opinion on their attractiveness. He's honestly behaving like an egg.
Like an egg?
An egg.
Like hard boiled?
Like, this is your brain. This is your brain on drugs.
Oh my God. Only people in our generation will get that. Oh.
Find a new boyfriend. He's not the only man in the world. On top of that, he practically wants you to beg for the title back.
No.
Ew. She said
that.
Ew.
I forgot about that while we were talking about it. That was the end of it?
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Right.
He's trash.
He just needs to grow up.
Yeah. He needs therapy. Before any other relationship ever going forward, he just needs therapy. He needs to focus on him. He needs me time. I don't want a relationship right now. I need me time. That's what he needs to say to himself.
I need to make eggs better.
Yeah. So run works, huh?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Good job, Oloni.
She even said ew.
She even said ew.
I love her.
Love it. One more. Let's do one more. We got time.
Okay, let's do it. This is from... Doesn't have a date.
All right, we'll take it.
Okay. To get straight into it, my man refuses to go down on me.
Oh.
Regardless of the fact I had never gave him head before and expressed it's not something I wanted to do, I still now give him head for his pleasure because I care about pleasing him. It insults me that he can't care about my needs to do the same, as generally I get a lot more pleasure out of oral sex. Interesting.
Good for you for knowing what you want.
It's not a case where I've asked him and he's said no, but he has made jokes about how I won't ever, quote, ever be getting my pussy ate ever again, unquote, because I'm his now. Obviously indicating he wouldn't ever do it. I'm a shy person, so I don't feel comfortable just blurting out, "Can you eat me out?" But I am serious about him, and I can't lie, it is an issue to me, especially because in all my previous relationships, I have received oral. It is making me feel undesirable and as though he doesn't think I'm a beautiful creation, which he bloody well should. I have no idea what I expect you to say, but you seem to have a magical response to everything. So thank you in advance. Anonymous. So, funniest thing, just last night when I was doing my reel scrolling, I stopped on a comedian. I wish I paid attention to his name, but he's a gay man and he started out with saying, you know, he said straight out, like, I'm a gay man, and my whole life I've been trying to figure out what's the gayest thing in the world. And he said, what I've come to the conclusion is the gayest thing in the world is a straight man who doesn't eat vagina.
Oh.
And then he got into this big rant about, like, who are you here for? Like, what is your purpose? Right? Like, he did it in, like just hysterical way, and
right.
like really went on this rant. It was absolutely hysterical, but he kind of has a point. Like,
well, there are people out there who don't like giving oral sex. It's a thing. I've met people like that.
For sure, but I guess there's like a maybe stereotype would be the right word, but like, I'm not gonna eat you out, but you're definitely gonna give me head. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
so for that is like, I guess where I'm like, bruh,
yeah, that definitely does exist.
If you ain't gonna eat me out, I ain't eating you out.
It would be one thing if it was something that she enjoyed. You know what I mean?
Giving.
But she doesn't.
Right.
Because she's never done it before. Or
right.
she told him she wouldn't, but because she cares about him and his pleasure. And he can't extend the same courtesy, you know, but she's too shy to actually bring it up in a serious conversation. Jesus, how do you do this? You can be passive aggressive and just be like, no.
I feel like she tried that because she had said that, like, he's made minor comments about it.
No, I was totally kidding about being passive aggressive.
Oh, I wasn't.
Oh. I just think here, we've had conversations about this before regarding sex, where it's just like, when you're in the heat of the moment, call out what you want. You know what I mean? So while you're in the middle of, like, you're S on his D, you get off of him, you lay on your back on the bed and just go, like,
I say you just climb on him upside down.
Oh yeah.
Put it right in his face.
Yeah.
While you're
69 the fuck out of him.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then if he doesn't partake,
you just shove it. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. That's unconsenting. I know, Biff, you're I see your face. I see your face.
So yeah, if he doesn't partake, then you stop.
Yeah, then you stop.
Well, if I'm not, listen, like, but if it's important to you, it needs to be addressed.
Yeah, I think you just need to open your mouth and not for dick.
If you're not making him aware that, like, this is going to be a bigger issue in our future than it is right now, and if we can't find a happy medium, I just don't see this working out for long term.
Yeah, sex is important in a relationship, period.
Absolutely.
Just across the board.
Especially to be able to discuss it.
Right, and everyone's pleasure should be considered. Now, you're totally within your right to withhold oral sex since it's being withheld from you. But the more mature route is to talk to him about it.
Right.
And explain to him
especially
that you would derive
say,
more
like,
close.
Look, I don't like choking on chunks. You know what I mean? So it's not like you're not giving it and still wanting to receive it.
Right.
You can literally say, like, look, I don't like it either, but
this
I still do it.
This isn't my favorite pastime. This ain't baseball.
Like, especially when I know it's not coming back to me in return.
Right.
Like, that makes it even worse.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. One-sided sex is the worst.
That's like not a thing.
Yeah, to quote Oloni.
Yeah.
Ew.
But again, we've had this conversation before. Not everyone is not confrontational, but like where you and I don't have a problem being like, look,
right,
you won't get this deal.
So I guess then now you define that line. You identify, like, what is the line between accepting because you're not willing to communicate,
right,
which would be on the part of the person who wrote, they don't want to communicate that, or accepting because, like, it's not worth the fight, or just accepting it rather.
Yeah, it's literally, you only have two choices, either to accept defeat and keep your mouth shut, or, no pun intended, grow a pair and bring it up.
Period, pun intended.
Right.
Yeah, there's not much you can give to this one.
If you're not going to communicate your feelings, wants, and needs, then you can't really have
expectations. That's telling of your relationship to begin with.
You can't really have expectations.
You can't. That's actually very, very valid. You can't have the expectation, period, that he's going to know that that's what you want.
Or
even if it's something he knows he doesn't want to do.
Even if he knows something you want, if you're not vocalizing, like, look, not only is it something that I enjoy, but like it's important to me.
Right.
So there's
it's important enough for me to write to an advice columnist about.
Right.
Right.
So we need, I'm not asking for it daily, but there needs to be.
It's got to happen.
Right.
It's just got to happen.
Compromise, as I'm doing for you.
You'll only get head when you're like tongue flicking my clit.
Yep.
That felt really awkward to say.
It sounded awkward coming from you. Not
tongue
gonna lie.
flick my clit.
Say it faster.
Tongue flick my clit. And I'm done.
Good.
Can we get to the response on this one? I think we're on the same page.
She says, "Hey, hon. It's so annoying when a guy doesn't know what your body enjoys between the sheets. That comment he made, though, you won't ever be getting your pussy ate again. So he's basically aware that other men were giving you the full work while he's doing the bare minimum. LOL." Right. The answer to this is communication. I understand you're shy, but shyness doesn't mean your needs get to be ignored. Although you can't force him to do what he may not feel comfortable with, someone you're sleeping with regularly.
Good job, Biff. I'm so proud of you.
Should know what your vagina enjoys most. You need to have more conversations about sex so he knows it's important to you. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Literally communication. What did we tell you? You should have listened to us the first time.
Either just continue without getting eaten out or fucking open your mouth.
Yeah, either
pun in, no pun intended.
Pun or no pun intended. Either tongue flick the clit or flick your bick.
Yes.
I don't know.
We'll go with that.
Yeah. I'm done now. Can we get sued for that?
As long as we get our vaginas eaten in the process.
Interesting little side questions. That's what I felt like compared to the other columns that we respond to. They felt like
the questions were good. Her responses were not used to short responses from.
No, ours were a lot more long-winded. This is like the tables turned drastically.
Yeah.
This is bullshit. We need to be published.
Yeah.
Well, we are published on illadvisedthepodcast.com. And you can send us all your questions, comments, and all your concerns to illadvisedthepodcast@gmail.com.
And you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and not Twitter.
Not Twitter.
God damn it.
TikTok? While TikTok is still legal in the US, it's in the news. It's a whole thing. We'll talk later.
Well, I don't have TikTok, so I guess I don't know.
No, we do, though.
Right. We do.
We do.
Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at illadvisedthepodcast.
You're wonderful. You're fantastic. Everything's great about you. Flick that bick.
You deserve to get licked.
And thank you for listening.
You've been ill-advised.